Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2014 Scary Nancy Drew. Wait, that's not what this is. This is the 2014 Nancy Drew Mega Marathon. My name is Michael. This year, the 30th Nancy Drew game, the Shattered Medallion, is going to be released, and so I thought I would celebrate by playing all of the Nancy Drew games in order. All 30 Nancy Drew games in order. Right now, I am playing Nancy Drew game number 7. This is Nancy Drew Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. First released in November 1st, actually, in 2000.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2014
Wait a minute.
Scary
Wait. Why am I hearing myself in the background?
2014 Nancy Drew Mega Marathon.
Give me a second here.
My name is Michael.
We don't need to hear me. Wow, great way to start things off. So, let's get started, shall we?
Welcome to my latest case, Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. To start playing, choose either Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, choose Tutorial.
I want to see what the tutorial is here.
Okay, as always.
Okay, once again, it's the same tutorial from Nancy Drew game number 4, Treasure in the Royal Tower.
Welcome to my latest case.
I am playing this game in front of a live studio audience. There are people watching me play this game on YouTube, Google plus YouTube, whatever that thing is. I think they put their logo in the upper left-hand corner, and even if the video quality goes down, their logo quality remains perfect HD the entire time. Thanks, Google plus.
Dear Ned, remember Sally McDonald, the woman who took those photos that Dad has up in his office? Well, she just bought a house in Moon Lake, Pennsylvania. A gangster named Mickey Malone built it back in the 20s as his country getaway. We're talking major fixer-upper. Anyway, last night Sally called and she said she desperately needed my detective skills. She refused to say why over the phone. Naturally, I said I'd drive to Moon Lake immediately. But weird things started happening the moment I pulled up. First, this big tree fell down behind my car and has me totally blocked in. And then I discovered that Sally's gone. She left a note that suggested something terrible happens here at night. She's supposed to call me from her car. So here I sit, writing to you while I wait for the phone to ring. It's nighttime, and although part of me is dying to know what frightened Sally away, another part of me is starting to feel a little uneasy. I'll let you know what happens. Ever yours, Nancy.
Alright, so here we are. This is the start of the game. It's nighttime, and we should get a phone call. Ooh, what's this? This is a puzzle.
It's stuck. Sandpaper.
We need sandpaper. Oh, good. Now we get the phone call. So that's a phone call from Sally, and the dog puzzle is related to this. The directions the dogs are facing influence the directions they appear here in the puzzle. Now, the directions we want to have the dogs face are going to be described over here. Oh, and that's Sally on the phone, by the way. She's calling about the ghost dogs attacking the house or something. So here it is, leaves. So we've got a different thing, a different, spring is something, and then this is something else. Swans are summer and autumn. So it's got the seasons, and you can see how it matches with the puzzle, right? Right? Okay, everybody in the studio audience is they are excited about the ghost dogs, which are not appearing because I'm switching to daytime. Cool. So it's daytime now, so we won't get attacked by ghost dogs. Good plan. Good plan. Get the dead tree cut down. Get some water. Going to be exploring here. I've got some things. We've got gloves. We've got... Nancy, I'm really sorry, but I can't face another night here. This is my cell phone number. Please don't hate me. We want that, and this is a map of the woods outside. I've actually prepared. I know what to do ahead of time in this game. I know what to do. I pretty much know exactly what to do. I've got everything written out, so that's fantastic. And I need to go outside at this point. This isn't working. need to prime this with some water. Okay.
I don't need water right now.
Oh, I don't? Okay. Can I at least take the bucket? I took the bucket. Great. So that's going to be for a puzzle here.
The boat's full of water.
All right, use the bucket here. Screwdriver! Hooray! And can we go sailing? Something's
The
wrong.
spark plug is missing.
Spark plug? Oh
The spark
no.
plug is missing.
What about this stuff?
I gotta have some torque.
Oh, we need torque and a spark plug. Huh. Oh well. So this is the house. This is actually the shed here.
A face only a gnome could love.
I recognize those ski boots, and I recognize this iron. Those are from other Nancy Drew games. Hold on a second. Do. Use the key over here. It's so nice and peaceful. I like this.
The key broke off. It's locked. I gotta have some torque.
Okay. Apparently that means you need to use your screwdriver here in order to open this up. This gives us a hammer and nails, and that gives us a gas mask. So we need the hammer and nails because we're going to be nailing things down. You see this? Oh, here's the tarp. Nice floorboard.
Those look too rotten.
Everything else is rotten. And not to be like a total mean jerk or anything, but this is the dead tree. The dead tree which fell right behind Nancy's car. I see the tree. I don't see Nancy's car. Don't see Nancy's car at all. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. And what's this? Some sort of note.
Rotten floorboards. Watch your...
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. So, that's why we need the floorboards and the hammer and nails.
Those floorboards need to be replaced.
We need more floorboards.
Still not fixed.
Not just the one. Okay. So, now I'm going to switch to nighttime. And I should get another phone call from Sally. The phone call, which I really should have answered, but I wanted to find out that the spark plug was missing before doing adventures here at nighttime.
Hello?
Nancy, hi, it's Sally. We have to talk fast because I'm in my car and my cell phone's running low, so we might get cut off. But did you see my note?
Yes, are you all right?
No, I feel awful bailing on you like that. You must think I'm such a flake.
I'm just worried about you. What's wrong?
I couldn't stand the thought of spending another night there. I knew you were on your way, but it didn't help. I just got too scared.
Oh, it's okay, Sally. This is a nice place.
What's to be scared of? It's so peaceful and quiet here.
Just wait until it gets dark. Then you'll see. What am I saying? Nancy, you shouldn't be there by yourself either. Why don't you just go get in your car and go home? Or drive to Philadelphia. My aunt's got plenty of room.
No way. You got me so curious I wouldn't leave even if I could.
What do you mean?
A tree fell down behind my car just as I was driving up to the house. I'm blocked in.
Oh, the dead maple beside the driveway. Oh, they told me it was in danger of falling over when I had the place inspected. I just never got around to doing anything about it. Listen, call M's Emporium. That's a store on the lake. Emily knows everybody. She'll know who to call if she decides to answer her phone.
Oh, Emily.
It's late. Won't the store be closed?
Where's my brain? Okay, look. I just bought a little outboard motorboat. I haven't used it yet, but the guy who put it in for me said it should run just fine. It's tied up at the dock out front. Just get in it and go. Go anywhere. Just get away from the house.
I can't just take off in your boat. It's pitch black outside.
Then listen to me. Go around the house and lock all the doors and windows. Do that right now.
There aren't any locks on the doors and windows. What are you so afraid of?
The dogs! Those dogs! Out of nowhere. They're outside howling and snarling. Teeth and claws. Horrible.
Dogs? Hello? Did you say dogs? Hello?
That is ominous. That is very, very ominous. Squeaking mice?
What is that?
The ghost dogs! The ghost dogs! Ooh, the ghost dogs are attacking!
Right, I won't need my flashlight. Something's out there.
Now look what you've done. That was a Strixvaria. At least I think it was. Never know for sure now, will I?
Hello?
I'm sorry, but you startled me. What are you doing out here?
Birds. I'm trying to look for birds. What are you doing out here?
I'm Nancy Drew. I'm staying in this house, and I heard a lot of weird noises, so I came out here to investigate.
That was me, Miss Nancy Drew, calling in birds. And doing a pretty good job of it, too, till you showed up. Where'd you come from, anyway?
Wait. So birds actually are attracted. I
drove in today from River Heights to visit my friend Sally McDonald.
Now, why would you want to do a thing like that? The Malone house is no place for one young woman, let alone two.
You've met Sally?
I talked to her a couple of times. But you know, the last time I saw her, she wasn't doing so good. She acted real anxious, scared.
Did she say what was wrong?
The dogs. The dogs of Mickey Malone. Legend goes that when Malone was finally arrested and hauled away, his 4 dogs went running off into the woods and were never seen again. People would just hear them, howling like their hearts were broken every night until one by one, they all died and went silent. But every time someone tries living in the Malone house, back they come.
Okay, so Maddie Young has a good point. This guy's yelling at Nancy while he's being a total creep outside of her house. Seriously, Red. Seriously.
Are you saying Sally's house is haunted by ghost dogs?
Every night, ever since she moved in, you could hear them howling. And some nights the dogs would appear outside the house, running around, snarling and barking and throwing themselves at the doors and windows. And then they'd be gone. They're buried in the cemetery just beyond the house, you know. Them and Malone, both.
Okay, we probably another good point. Emily Everson is saying that Red is technically trespassing on Sally's property here, doing an imitation of a drunk owl. Like seriously, what are you doing, Red? Anyway, sorry, I need to get serious. No more jokes. No more jokes. Ghost dogs going to attack the house?
The dogs would attack her house?
It's like they don't want anybody but Malone living there. I guess they don't know he's dead. And so are they.
Did she ever call the police?
This isn't New York City, Miss Nancy Drew. All they got around here is one officious little park ranger. And all Jeff Akers does is sit around all day trying to figure out how he can get himself transferred out of here to a bigger park.
Do you live close by?
I just come to Moon Lake in the spring to look for birds. Got an observation platform just up the path, kind of my base camp, and I've got a little outboard down there on the lake. Left my car at the big dock up lake. Don't really need it.
Are those the ghost dogs?
Yes, ma'am. Which is why I think it would be a good idea if I went my merry way and you got yourself back inside that house.
One more thing. The water in Sally's well needs to be tested. How do I do that?
Get a sampling kit from Jeff Akers. Ranger station's on the east side of the lake. Good luck, Miss Nancy Drew.
Oh no. Okay, so run back inside because the dogs are going to attack. Somebody needs to call Ghostbusters.
This is not good.
They're playing with the circuit breaker. Okay, I'm frightened. I'm frightened. And I hope Red Knot was not killed. Yeah, so Red Knot has seen the dogs attack the house, and he's just doing nothing. He's just here at his observation platform, which kind of looks like it's on my property. Here he is. He's looking at... Are there actual birds? Because I don't see any birds flying around in the sky that high. Whatever.
Well, it's Miss Nancy Drew.
Does that mean you'd like me to call you Mr. Red Knot?
All right, then. Hello, Nancy. Now put a muffler on it, would ya? I just heard a cerulean warbler.
Really? Are they rare?
Something tells me they're gonna be with you around. You didn't come up here to chit-chat, did you?
Are you out here all by yourself?
I came to see birds, not people. The more people there are in a forest, the fewer birds there are. It's a fact of life. Reason I like to come here is because nobody else does. It's perfect. Not a decent grocery store, restaurant, or motel for miles.
There's no place nearby that sells boat parts? Sally's outboard is missing a spark plug.
I might be able to help you out. After all, I was a Boy Scout. Be prepared.
You mean you have a spark plug I could buy?
Well, just so happens I've got 2 spark plugs right here in my pocket. Question is, if I give you one, what do I get for it? I don't need cash, but maybe you could take a few pictures for me. Know how to use a digital camera?
Digital camera?
Sure. What would you like me to take pictures of?
Birds, of course. There's a couple of birds I'm supposed to take pictures of for PEPSOB. That's People for the Preservation and Study of Birds. You can recognize them by their songs, which are on this tape, which you can play on my cassette player, which you're going to have to get from M's Emporium as soon as you get your boat fixed.
Oh. You'll have to do this, which means you have to do that, which means you have to do that first, which means you have to do this other thing first. Oh, he's giving us a series of chores.
I know I can.
Here's everything you'll need.
But we do need the spark plug.
M's Emporium is up lake on the west side. Not that I'm trying to get you out of my hair or anything, but try not to come pestering me till you're done, okay? One more thing. You smoke?
Only when I'm on fire.
Oh, you're a spunky one, aren't you? Well, these woods may not look it, but they're tinder dry. One lit match, and the best bird habitat on the East Coast will go up in smoke. So watch what you do. Because if anything like that happens, I won't be looking for birds anymore. I'll be looking for you. Watch yourself out there.
So is there a reason we can't talk to him about the ghost dogs? I mean, the ghost dogs just attacked, and he's just sitting here, like, doing nothing.
You find all the birds?
See you in a while.
Yeah.
And he's just carrying around extra spark plugs with him, because that's the way he rolls. I don't see any birds in the sky. I don't see any birds in the sky. No birds here. Yeah, definitely no birds in the sky anywhere. Whatever, let's just go inside and skip to daytime. So for some reason, Red Knot isn't here in the day. I'm going to say that during the daytime, he's in other places searching for birds. So thus begins our long series of events. It's not that long, but it's still sort of a puzzle finding all the birds and everything. So I need to put all of the things according to these instructions. Plus is up all the way, 0 is down all the way, and minus is in the middle. Where is my screwdriver? Right here. Let's use our torque. Up all the way, looks good. Up all the way, in the middle, and down all the way. Perfect. If you solve this puzzle incorrectly, Nancy dies. Like this. Okay, so clearly I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Maybe I mixed down all the way with middle.
Something must be very wrong with this engine.
Yeah, everything's wrong. Okay, so if this one's down all the way and then this one is middle, is that good? Yay! You know, somebody has a good point. Maybe Red Knot, Christina says that Red Knot is looking at the stars. Maybe he's doing that.
Hello, can I help you?
Are you Jeff Akers?
At your service. I noticed that you arrived by boat. Does that mean you're staying on the lake?
Yes, I am. My name's Nancy Drew. I'm visiting Sally McDonald.
Let's see. Sally McDonald is the woman who bought the old Malone place.
That's right. Only she's gone back to Philadelphia. Malone's dogs got to her.
Don't tell me she believes all that ghost dog stuff.
I saw them myself.
Whatever's out there, I'm sure they're no more and no less than exactly what they look and sound like. Dogs. Living, breathing, very noisy dogs.
Why do you think dogs would attack Sally's house?
Dogs can be trained to do almost anything.
Any idea what would make a dog's eyes glow yellow?
Something in their diet, maybe? Some oddball vitamin or protein.
Are you actually going to do something to help protect me from these monsters who have been attacking my house?
As a park ranger, don't you want to know for sure what's behind these dog attacks?
Do you always ask this many questions?
As a matter of fact, I do.
I'm a very busy man, Miss Drew, but I am here to serve the public.
Do you have something I could use to test the well water at Sally's?
Sure do. Simple to use, too. Just pump some water into this vial, return the sample to me, I'll send it off, and in a day or two you'll find out whether or not your water's fit to drink.
Does everyone out here have a well?
Everyone who doesn't want to die of thirst does. Hooking up to a municipal water supply is out of the question. Too expensive.
Thanks for all your help.
Not a problem. Oh, and one last thing. The deer mouse population has boomed this year, so please take precautions if you're cleaning out any area where they may have nested. They can carry some nasty diseases.
Thanks for the tip, Ranger Akers.
So that's Ranger Akers. Ranger Akers. Oh boy, Ranger Akers. He runs the red-tailed hawk. Nice. He runs the ranger station here. And we needed to talk to him about the water stuff. The water stuff, that's basically it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to start the bird hunt. And I'm going to find the red bird, the cardinal, called a cardinal because it's red. Ooh, floorboard.
I better be careful.
You have a map, Nancy, don't be worried. Okay, so let me see. I go past here to find Cardinal. Where are you? There you are.
I must have scared it.
So Cardinal, you can't take a picture of the Cardinal. The Cardinal is scared of Nancy because she is just such a scary-looking person. And there we go. Okay, we made it out alive. Oh, that's fantastic. Woo-hoo. What's the sound effect? Woo-hoo? Somebody's having a party and I wasn't invited? Oh. People do have a good question. What is Jeff Akers busy doing? Busy not helping people. That's what he's busy doing. He's busy thinking up new ways to give people tickets. He's busy playing Nancy Drew games, let's be honest.
You find all the birds?
I found some birds, but no matter how quiet I am, I've been scaring other birds away before I can take their picture. What am I doing wrong?
You're wearing those clothes. That's what you're doing wrong. You need to blend in, like me. Go back over to M's tacky tourist trap and get yourself some camouflage gear. Only sensible thing that money grubber carries.
See you in a while.
Yeah.
Fun fact, you do not actually have to hear the tape of bird sounds from M's Emporium. You actually do not have to do that in order to beat the game. Fun fact. Just a fun fact. So what I did was, I specifically learned that this bird doesn't like me, so I could learn about camouflage gear. That way I don't have to take 2 trips to Emily. I can take only 1 trip to Emily. I can get the camouflage gear and everything else in 1 trip. Smart thinking, right? Wait a minute. I think I know what happened. Ranger Acres is busy planning the party.
Hey there! Welcome to M's Emporium. I'm Emily Griffin.
I need to find somebody with a chainsaw, and Sally McDonald suggested I talk to you.
Sally McDonald, huh? You a friend of hers?
Yup.
I'm Nancy Drew. I drove in last night all the way from River Heights.
Now what's she doing inviting guests out to that old dump?
She's got a little problem she's hoping I can solve, but right now I need a chainsaw.
A chainsaw?
A tree fell down in the driveway behind my car, and now I'm blocked in.
I'll get Tucker Davis to take care of it. Gotta warn you, though. Tucker tends to do things in his own sweet time. So how come Sally ain't with you?
I need somebody with a chainsaw, and the first person I go to is Emily. We don't ask the park ranger, we ask the woman wearing flannel.
The ghost
and a
dog scared her
turtleneck.
off.
I told her. I said, Sally, that old house is gonna be nothing but trouble. And sure enough, Malone's hounds have come back. Just when we all thought they were finally resting in peace.
Although maybe Nancy feels like she has a special connection to Emily because they both wear mom jeans. So yeah, they have the same fashion sense. I can see this working.
Have you ever seen the dogs?
Nope. Don't want to, neither. Just hearing them howl's bad enough. Scares the bejeebies out of me.
I got the bejeebies scared out of me twice last night. Just before I saw the dog, I caught a man named Red Knot prowling around outside the house.
The bird watcher. Comes in every so often to stock up on that weirdo food he eats. You know how them tree hugger types are.
Has he been in the area long?
About as long as those pink-billed warblers and purple-eyed owls he's always chasing have been around. Couple of months, I guess.
Mr. Knott did me a favor, and in return he asked me to pick up a cassette player from you.
Oh, yeah. I got it right here. Thought maybe the old coot had forgotten he left it here.
How do I pick it up? Pick it up?
What else can I do you for?
Where do you find your... Achoo!
Bless you. It's all the dust. Sometimes I think it grows on this stuff.
You seem to be selling everything under the sun in here.
Best part is, I got most of this stuff for free. See, back in the days of Prohibition, that old Malone place used to be party central. Only way to get to and from back then was by boat. And when those boats dumped, on account of bad weather or bad driving or the feds suddenly showing up, well, everything from diamond necklaces to full bottles of illegal booze sank to the bottom of the lake.
So it's finders keepers, huh?
That's right. See, recovering objects from the lake bed is illegal. According to Squeaky Wheel Acres, dragging the lake for artifacts was upsetting its delicate eco-balance. So thanks mostly to his constant squawking, the state banned it.
Oh.
Squeaky Wheel Acres?
Jeff Akers, local park ranger. I keep telling him all this stuff washed up on shore. But does that snobby little stickler for rules believe me?
No, he does not.
Sounds like you aren't real fond of Ranger Acres.
Jeff Akers could take all his precious rules and regulations and take a flying leap. Now, I got nothing against getting more customers in here, mind you. But I kind of like Moon Lake the way it is. Small, quiet, out of the way. But Jeff Akers, why, there's nothing he'd like better than to see all the lake and all the property around it turned into one big, noisy, jam-packed state park.
Why would he want that?
He's the type of guy who likes to boss people around, makes them feel important. So if the park got way bigger and was crawling with tourists, why, instead of giving out maybe 1 ticket for littering every 2 days, he'd be giving out 12 tickets every 2 hours. He'd be in heaven. Well, hey, I'm sure you got better things to do than getting your ear chewed off by yours truly.
I need to buy something.
You want it? I got it. As long as you pay cash, that is.
That's just it. I'm running kind of low on cash. Would it be possible to start a line of credit?
My daddy always said, neither a borrower nor a lender be. But I'll
tell you what, seeing as how you're a friend of Sally's, and seeing as how I got some things around here that could use doing, I guess we could work something out. What is it you need?
Nobody who is watching this video in the studio audience likes Emily's accent. They just think that Emily and her accent should take a flying leap.
To make a long story short, I need some camouflage gear.
Got some right over here. One size fits all. But I'm running kind of low on bait. So if you go out and get me, oh, say a dozen little critters, I'll give you the camos.
A dozen little critters?
Worms, spiders, beetles, grubs, anything that wriggles on its belly will do. Just look under stuff. Rocks, logs, dead leaves. Should be able to find 12 in no time.
Do I need some kind of permit?
Things ain't quite that bad around here. At least not yet. Now, if Jeff Akers' daddy was still around, you might get arrested for cruelty to animals or some such nonsense. Joe Akers used to be the deputy sheriff. Real critter lover, that one was.
Joe Akers is Jeff's father?
That's right.
Do you sell sandpaper by any chance?
I do, but Mr. Birdbrain was in last week and cleaned me out. Said he was tired of that observation platform of his giving him splinters in his hinter regions.
That is too much information. I do not need to know that.
Think I could get some from him?
He's your only hope. But you better ask him for it quick. That deck of his is pretty big, and those squares I sold him are pretty small.
Guess I'll see you later.
Yodel-hee-hoo.
Yole, 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 hee-hoo. She and I have sort of different southern accents. My southern accent is very good. Hers is not very good either. But we can form a club together. Skunk crossing. Not much else here. So Nancy is probably the only person around here who buys anything from Emily, and Emily's like, sure, don't give me money. Well, why didn't Nancy bring any money with her? She never brings any money with her. Like in the later games where she goes to France, does she bring any money with her when she's going on vacation to France? No. Oh, a dozen little critters, don't get the skitters, a dozen little critters, more than 11, less than 13, dozen little critters, the most I've ever seen, dozen little critters, woo-doo-doo, dozen little critters, whoop-dee-doo, dozen little critters, we'll find them here for you. So, this is what I'm doing, everybody. This is me being super clever. I planned it out, so I am doing the critter hunt at the same time that I'm doing the bird hunt. So I'm hunting for birds and critters at the exact same time. So that will save me a little bit of time in going through this game. And whenever you see this chirp chirp, it means there are that means there are critters here. All right, some of them move quickly. So there are going to be 7 critters during the daytime and 5 critters at nighttime. So we have 2 critters already. And I can hear some. I hear you, critter. Still hear some critters. Okay, 4, so I need to find 3 more and then I'll be done. Oh no, I missed the other 2 though. Oh, I was not fast enough here. Okay, so let's go over here in this direction. We have 1 bird at least in this direction. And let's see, if I go left,
Here, birdie, birdie, birdie.
we have the shoe. Why is there a shoe? I don't know.
Tweet, tweet.
Tweet, tweet, rockin' robin, tweet, doodle-eat, rockin' robin, tweedle-eat, tweedle-eat, when the red robin comes bobbing along. Those are different songs, aren't they? Whoops. No critters here. Random stone pillar. I always kind of wished I could pull up this rock in the background when I'm hunting for critters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to find 1 more critter, and then I'm finished with searching for critters in the daytime. And what is that sound? That is the sound of critters, isn't it? Oh, there's a bird. No, that's the cassette player. I don't want to look at the cassette player. I like how Nancy just, you know, holds the camera in place for like forever. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I need to find how many critters during the day? 7 critters during the day. Okay, so I'm finished with the critter hunt. Now let's just finish off with the bird hunt. Okay, so I found the goldfinch. The other 2 birds I can get is the blue jay and the robin. The robin is going to be, sorry for getting into walkthrough mode. Robin's going to be here on the top part, and the blue jay is going to be, well, it's going to be around here, but we haven't explored that area. But once we explore it, Nancy's going to mark that down on her little map. So is that shoe? Yeah, that just shoe randomly in the middle of nowhere is Nancy's shoe, or it could be Maya's shoe from Nancy Drew, the game in which Maya's shoe is one of the major characters. Okay, so you turn at the log to see the bluebird. I think it's called a blue jay, but Nancy's notes just say bluebird, so she's not that specific. Okay, yellow ribbon, and we want to get to the top, so that means I'm turning left, and then right, and then left. And then I'm going to have to turn right. There it is. Hooray, hooray. And as long as I'm here... Where am I? I don't know. Am I lost? Okay, at the yellow ribbon. At the yellow ribbon, I want to visit the graveyard. You know, as long as I'm here, I might as well visit that graveyard thingy. Where we get a floorboard.
Looks like paw prints.
Yes, the shoe could be the culprit. Okay. And this is creepy. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness. Cedric Piffinpaff. Cedric Cosmo Cranky Piffinpaff. Royal Stench. Marbles. We're so sorry to have lost you. I love these puns. Oh, precursor to Nancy Drew. The other game where we make horrible puns based off the names of dead people in a cemetery. Alrighty, and we turn here. How do I turn here? Gonna take a left here, and that will just take me out of here. So that wasn't very painful, was it? Nice little bird hunt. Nice little critter hunt. Hello, everybody. Oh, sorry, I haven't been paying too much attention to the studio audience. I've been focusing on the critter hunt because it seems like every time I play the game, the critter hunt takes me forever, 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 forever. And I have no idea where the critters are here. I mean, Nancy lists the birds on her map, so I was able to look at that, but she doesn't list where the critters are on her map. There's 1. Okay, so I need to find 5, so let's keep our count going. And there are usually some at the graveyard. But let's go here. Maya's shoe, again, thinking it's the culprit. Do I need evidence? It's a shoe. It looks guilty. I've noticed that happens sometimes in the, it could be Cinderella's shoe. Yes, Cinderella usually loses shoes. But, you know, the culprit could be, wow, I've completely forgotten everything. I forgot what I was going to say. Ooh. 2, 3, so I have 3. I need 2 more critters, and then I'll have the dozen little critters, dozen little critters. Right, now I remember what I was going to say. That happens in the Nancy Drew, you know, I've been reading a lot of the Nancy Drew books, and you'll notice that sometimes it's like Nancy decides one person is a culprit, and she's always going to accuse this one person. She's like, this person is guilty, I know it. And everybody else says, no, Nancy, you're completely wrong. That's craziness. And it turns out Nancy's completely correct. That's something which happens in the Nancy Drew book sometimes. You know, her friends refuse to believe her even when she's right about the culprit. You know, Nancy just has a hunch this person is guilty, and therefore it means that person is guilty. I've just noticed that happens a lot in books. I've also noticed in books, Nancy has a hunch that somebody is guilty even though they're obviously innocent. And so she spends like the entire book trying to cast suspicion on this completely innocent person. And it's super annoying because I'm like, oh, that person is innocent, Nancy. It's obvious they're not guilty. Why are you wasting time examining this one suspect? So, you know, if this was another series, not the Nancy Drew series, this would be like a survival horror game because you're wandering around the woods late at night and you hear creepy sounds and there are ghost dogs which really should have attacked more than once in this game in order to make it even scarier. Turn left here. Ah, critter. Oh, there we go. Now that is sort of a cheat thing, which totally threw me off the first time I played it. Nancy grabbed both crickets, giving her a total of 12 critters. Even though you only clicked once, you grabbed 2 critters that time. Whereas with everything else, you have to click multiple times in order to get multiple critters. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, how do I get out of here? Right at the... No. Okay, I'm at the log. Right at the log to the tree. Left at the tree to exit. Whew! Okay, everybody, we found all the dozen little critters. Is that everything I need to do? Let me... Uh-oh. Give me a second. I'm checking my notes here. I have notes, that's how I know what to do. Okay, so I need to switch to daytime to get camouflage gear from Emily so I can get the other pictures of those other birds, the birds that don't like Nancy. Yeah, it could have been cool if there was like a chase scene through the woods with the dogs, but I don't think they had enough time to like animate that. This is the only game with 3 characters, so some people suggest, well, it's because they didn't have enough time to put in other animations. Maybe they had more scenes planned, but they just weren't able to get it finished in time. Now you'll notice that this game was produced in November, and the previous game was, this game was released November 1st. The previous game came out in August, so that's not much of a break in between the games. Now they try to have like a 6-month gap between the games, usually, or 4 or 5-month gap, just to give them a bit more time. Spread things out, make it more even throughout the entire year. So I like that. I like that more than just having 2 games at the very end of the year. I like having, you know, 1 game in summer, 1 game in the winter.
Hey, Nancy, how's the bait finding coming along?
12 big, fat, juicy ones, just like you wanted.
Well, now, you done all right for a city gal. Here you go. Hope whatever you're hiding from won't catch you. How you holding up?
Yeah.
Any word from Tucker, what's his name? He hasn't been by to move that tree yet.
I'll give him another call. But like I said, the man marches to the beat of another drummer. A very slow drummer.
These so-called ghost dogs left very real paw prints. I saw some near the cemetery that's by the Malone house. Have you ever been there?
Can't say as I have. Poking around cemeteries ain't exactly a hobby with me.
Oh yeah, somebody, two people reminded me that Ransom of the Seven Ships only has about 3 characters. You're right, it's George and Bess and,
Guess I'll see you later.
whatever
I
his
guess
name
you
is. But there are also like 3 monkeys in that game. No, okay, so let me qualify my statement, because, this is the... Actually, you know what? I'm not sure I can qualify my statement. I was going to say that, you know, this was the first game in the series to have the fewest number of suspects until Ransom of the Seven Ships came along, and then there's basically only 1 suspect in that game. So, pretty easy to figure out who the culprit in that game is. It's the one character who is not Nancy's friend. What am I doing now? I have camouflage gear. I'm taking pictures of birds. Right, I got distracted by talking about Nancy Drew. Funny how that happens sometimes. So the red bird is above red bird. Cardinal's right over here. And the tanger is right here. It's by the words tree stump. Did Nancy actually write down where the tanger is, or did she just not do that? There we go. And Cuckoo, in fact, yes, the parrot is also a character in that game, isn't she? I don't think the parrot is a culprit, though. I would be surprised if the parrot is a culprit. That just sounds like a ridiculous idea people are coming up with to be silly. Clearly, that would be ridiculous. Not like this fantastic game where the culprit is the shoe. The shoe is definitely the culprit. I don't know. What do you people think about the characters in the Nancy Drew series? Because a lot of the games usually have 4 characters. That's just sort of the way it works. Do you prefer having lots of characters, not a lot of characters? One of my favorite games. I'm so lost trying to figure out how to get out of here. Okay, so away from the stump and then left. One of my favorite games is Warnings at Waverly Academy, which also it kind of has a lot of characters. I like that because it was a real character-based game. But I mean, some people really like the rhythm of having 4 characters per game. Is that something you people seem to think? People are suggesting that the birds are working with the shoe as culprits. And I'm sorry, I'm doing audience interaction instead of playing with the game. I hope that doesn't bother you. So some people like lots of characters, lots of suspects, but sometimes it's good. Yeah, sometimes when you have a lot of characters, 1 or 2 characters gets neglected. And that's something I've noticed, again, because I've been reading a lot of Nancy Drew books recently. Sometimes, like, they'll introduce a character as a suspect just so we can have a lot of suspects and it can be really mysterious. But the character only shows up for, like, 3 pages and then never again for the rest of the book. So it's like, why did you even put that person as a suspect? It's like, this is a completely pointless character. There's no reason to have it.
How's the bird watching coming along?
No reason to have that character. So that's another complaint.
I just can't seem to find a red-tailed hawk. Any suggestions?
Well, there's got to be lots around here. You haven't been going around wearing sunglasses and earmuffs, have you?
Also, I'm thinking of the second Nancy Drew game, Stay Tuned for Danger, where, like, 2 of the characters that sort of get ignored is, Mildred Strathorn. She only shows up for, like, the 1 scene, the old woman who runs the prop room. She shows up there, she's on camera for, like, 2 minutes, and then never seen from again, not important again. So that seems like sort of a waste of a suspect. Also, there's Ralph the security guard who doesn't show up very often, but hey, you know, he's not really a suspect. I kind of liked him. He shows up at the end. He helps Nancy. He's awesome.
No, Red, I haven't.
Well, according to my bird map, they like to nest in the big tree that's just to the southwest of the Malone house. I suggest you park yourself nearby and wait. Bound to spot one sooner or later.
I'm sure also there's a problem if a game has a lot of characters, you will forget who certain characters are, which happens sometimes, you know. Yeah, it's like, well, there are 50 characters here. I can't remember every single one of them. Okay. We're getting off topic. Sandpaper.
I'm sorry to keep bugging you, but I need some sandpaper. Emily said you might have some.
Here, take it and scram. I was just about to call in a meadowlark. That was always Ruth's favorite.
Was Ruth your
Good
wife?
heavens, no. My wife had no patience for birding. Ruth was my dog. Border collie. She'd hear a meadowlark, and by golly, her ears would perk, and she'd cock her head, and she'd just come as close to smiling as ever a dog could.
Was she the only dog you ever had?
Yep. Wouldn't be worth the hassle anymore. Especially now that I'm retired and spend so much time at Moon Lake. The place is surrounded by park land, and Ranger Acres just loves enforcing the leash laws. There it is again. Take your sandpaper and go sand something, okay?
All right, so that's what you have to talk to Emily about the sandpaper before you can get the sandpaper from Red Knot. And now I remember, it was like the Wikipedia page. I was reading the Wikipedia page for this game earlier. That's how I got the release date. It said, like, this game has the fewest number of suspects at 3 compared to everything else. But it's like, somebody needs to update that. Has that been updated yet? Because that has definitely been on the Wikipedia page, calling this out as having the fewest number of characters. So let's actually solve this puzzle. Now that we have the sandpaper, we can actually solve this puzzle.
It's stuck.
Hooray. So now the puzzle is left, forward, right, and backwards. And now we can actually solve this, now that we have all of the floorboards. One from the tarp, one from the pathway to the forest, and one inside the cemetery. This from the area outside. That's good, right? I'm good. Can I go up now? Ready, use my flashlight, and here I find the super important picture of Mickey Malone and his girlfriend. And here's the basement. That's a puzzle.
It could be mice making that sound. It's blocked.
Oh no!
It's blocked.
So we need to figure out a way.
Looks like a tiny hole.
We need to figure out a way to put something inside the tiny hole. Obviously, one of these nails won't work. Let's leave this area.
William Akers. I wonder if he's related to Jeff Akers.
So William Akers worked for Mickey Malone, the gangster. And I let me skip ahead of my notes here. What I do is I skip ahead to daytime because I've triggered a couple of things. There are a couple of things I can do at daytime. No, don't spin around. Control issues here, everybody. I have control issues. And not the kind of control issues where I try to force everybody to do things my way. The kind of control issues where I'm spinning around in a circle. Spinning around in circles like 3 times before I can get through the door. Okay, Ranger Acres. Time to meet Ranger Acres. Blue Moon Canyon did have a lot of characters in it. That was pretty good. Somebody suggested putting this pen in that tiny hole. I've never tried that. I wonder if it works.
You're back.
What do you know about the cemetery behind the Malone house?
People are buried there. Beyond that, what's to know?
Are Malone's dogs buried there?
That's the rumor.
This place isn't exactly your ordinary ranger station, is it?
It's also the Moon Lake Post Office, and it's the unofficial Moon Lake Museum of Factual and Natural History. I've lived here all my life, so I can't help but feel obligated to protect not only the area's flora and fauna, but also its past.
So you know all about Mickey Malone?
As a member of the law enforcement community, I prefer to dwell on the positive aspects of history instead of on the activities of a bunch of glorified thugs.
Sure thing, Mr. Egan. I mean, sure thing, Alejandro. I mean, Ranger Acres.
So you'd probably like to see the old Malone place torn down and forgotten.
Not necessarily. It's hard to ignore its potential as a tourist attraction. And if that's what it takes to draw more people to Moon Lake, I'm a reasonable man.
Oh no, we have somebody in the studio audience named Annie Malone. Oh no. Annie, you're the culprit. You know what? Your grandfather, this illegal criminal who got hauled off by the FBI.
I found a newspaper dating back to 1927 in Sally's house. Since you're kind of an expert on the history of Moon Lake, do you mind if I ask you some questions about Mickey Malone?
Not at all.
All right, so...
The article mentioned that a man named William Akers used to work for Malone. Is he a relative of yours?
No. Quite a coincidence, I'll admit, but no. I am in no way related to the head flunky of some two-bit gangster and his gang of thugs.
I found this old picture in Sally's house. Do you know who these people are?
The man is Mickey Malone, I know that. I'm guessing that this is his girlfriend, Vivian Burnett, I think her name was. And judging by the year of that brand new Ford in the background, I'd say the picture was taken in 1928.
What would be the best way for me to find out who was living in Moon Lake in 1928 and where they ended up?
Tell you what, Miss Drew. Why don't I go through my files and see what I can dig up on this mystery woman? I'm a busy man, but like I always say, I'm here to serve.
Okay. So my question is just if this Annie Malone has any dogs. If she has 4 dogs, because if she does own 4 dogs, she's a culprit, calling it now.
When and why was Malone arrested?
I'm sorry, Miss Drew. As usual, I'm a little pressed for time. If you have more questions, why don't you sit down at the computer and peruse the Moon Lake database of fascinating factoids that I've put together?
What happened to Akers and the rest of Malone's gang after he went to prison?
Fortunately for Moon Lake, they all left and went their separate ways.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Please do. And if you have any questions, any more questions, just ask.
Would you mind mailing this letter for me?
Not at all.
I've been trying to take pictures of birds with this guy named Red Knot. Ever met him?
Oh yes, the Birdman. I'd stay away from him if I were you.
Why? Is something wrong with him?
He's a fanatic. He's got it in his head that Moon Lake would be the best bird-watching venue in the world except for one thing. Too many people. Believe me, if there was a way to get this park shut down and all the homes on the lake torn down, he'd do it in an instant.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here.
Wait a minute, we have a new character. More than 3 characters in this game. Okay, so Annie is claiming she does not have a dog, but her brother has a hamster. Annie's hamster is the culprit. We've got it. Figured it out. And is somebody saying a rule of mysteries? If you figure out the character's secret early, they are not guilty. That rule was definitely the rule in Nancy Drew, whatever that game is. Nancy Drew Trail of the Twister, where it's basically, okay, let's figure out everybody's secret in sequence. And the last secret we find out is the one belonging to the culprit. And I'm sorry, everyone. I should have done this much, much sooner. I guess I ignored my part in the notes where I said I need to get this water sample to Ranger Acres because we have to get the water sample to Ranger Acres and then return later in order to do something. And yes, all 3 of the people at Moon Lake dislike each other.
I I have that water sample. What do I do with it?
Just give it to me, and I'll take care of it.
I noticed you have a dog.
That's Yogi, who never goes out unless he's on a leash. Park rules.
I couldn't help but notice that he's about the same size as those ghost dogs were.
I hope you're not suggesting I trained Yogi to run around in the middle of the night barking and attacking houses.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here.
No, people want me to sing a song. I don't know any. What's the song? About hamster culprits. The hamster is guilty. The hamster is guilty. Everybody go and attack the hamster. Hamster is guilty. Hamster is guilty. Totally guilty. Guilty as hamster ever. 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 Guilty as hamster ever. Let's use the pen.
It looks like a tiny hole.
So the pen does work.
Combination.
Wow. Okay, so the combination, let's see if we can actually solve this puzzle. We'll see if the game accepts this. All of these numbers are bad dates, like Black Tuesday and the hotel fire and Clayton dying and MM pinched. So the date that Mickey Malone was pinched was in fact, pinched being slang for caught by the police. It was 012932. Wow, it works. Okay, we can enter the combination before we actually learn the combination.
Deer mice.
Crazy. Journal belonging to William Akers.
Speakeasy.
There was a speakeasy here. And Mickey Malone, you know, he stole a bunch of gold in the heist because he was a criminal, and he hid them here with the words, "The dogs will lead the way."
Joe Akers? Emily said Jeff Akers' father was named Joe. Maybe Jeff is related to William Akers after all. The dogs will lead the way. I wonder what that means.
I really like the writing here with this final entry. I give up. Mickey's dead and so are his dogs. I'll never find the gold. I got a good job offer over in Harrisburg, and I'm going to take it. Little Joe and Sarah deserve a better life than they've gotten so far, and it's high time Callie got a nice house and a husband who doesn't spend all his time chasing after something he can't find. But I'm leaving this journal here because who knows? Maybe someday I'll suddenly remember something Mickey said, and it'll finally hit me where he hid the gold. Maybe I'll come back here and find it after all. But in the meantime, I've got my family. They're what's important. They're treasure enough. Haha, so the evil deer mice tried to attack Nancy, but she is not dying from the attack. Haha, haha, fantastic. So, what next? I guess I'll go to Ranger Akers at this point. Or I could do the Red Hawk sequence. Because Red Knot told me about the red-tailed hawk.
I don't see any
Here.
hawks, but this is probably the tree Red was talking about. At least it was the tree. That sounded like a hawk.
And now for the most awkward moment of the entire
There
Nancy
it is.
Drew
I better
series.
get a picture before it takes off.
Hi, Mr. Hawk. Also, take a wild guess at what's going to happen to Nancy now.
Hey, what is that hawk standing on?
It's a speaker.
Oh, that looks like a speaker.
Thwap. So this is the second time she's been knocked unconscious?
I better get out of here.
Oh, she's
My
trapped.
legs are tied. I can't move.
Can I just
At
say...
least I can kick.
Can I say...
If I could just get that scythe down, I could use...
Can I say how cool it is that we get to see Nancy's hands and feet and arms, and that's just craziness, and I like how they do real pictures of, like, a real person's hands and arms and feet rather than like a computer animated, like, you know, like the CGI, like all the other characters. They, like, took a real person's hands and took pictures of them, and oh, who is the actress who plays Nancy Drew's hands? That's what I want to know. And people think that the Hawk is the culprit. The Hawk is not the culprit. Silliness. Where were we?
Blade to cut the rope around my wrists and free my hands.
So here's the plot twist. You know how Nancy was knocked unconscious? Somebody knocked her unconscious using Maya's shoe. So the shoe is the culprit. And I did this puzzle wrong. Uh-oh. Gonna have to second chance this. So what you want to do is kick this over. Kick this over. Hit this. I want to get it on fire. How do we solve this? Okay. Hit that. Now it's on fire. Now that thing's on fire. Knock over the gnome. Push the gnome up. And move it down here, which makes the Sith go down. More of Nancy's hands.
I can't just let this thing burn up. I've got to put it out.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, and how was Nancy able to see her hands if they were tied behind her back? That is craziness. And yes, Nancy Drew does have hands in Nancy Drew the Silent Spy, but those are CGI hands. Not as cool as, like, real-life hands, I suppose. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we're putting out the fire, right? Where's that fire? Oh, man. Okay, that was intense.
Fire! Fire!
Fire?
Fire!
Put it out, Nancy! Don't just stand still and shout fire! Urgh. Having flashbacks of Nancy Drew, Message in a Haunted Mansion. See, this is why Nancy gets accused of setting the fire in Alibi and Ashes. She is just a pyro who loves fire.
What in blazes happened? I saw the fire from my platform and came running. You weren't in there playing with matches, were you?
I was looking at birds, and then I noticed something on the house, and then...
Okay, so somebody pointed out something. Kate K pointed out that puzzle was a Rube Goldberg machine. The other game we see a puzzle like that is in Nancy Drew, the one with Henry Bolle, Legend of the Crystal Skull. I kind of like that puzzle where you have like 3 or 4 different items which can do something, and you need to figure out how to put them together and how to interact with them in the proper order in order to solve the puzzle. I'm just saying I like that puzzle. It's a good puzzle. Also, seeing Nancy's hands and arms are fantastic.
Next thing I knew, I was locked in the tool shed and somebody was setting it on fire.
Whoa, you're not making much sense. Probably smoke inhalation or something. Come talk to me after you've cleaned yourself up and gotten some sleep. I need to tell you something.
Somebody tried to kill you?
I didn't say that.
Somebody knocked you out, locked you in a shed, set it on fire, and you think they were, what, just pulling a prank? Wake up and smell the hostile vibes, Nancy.
I guess it's just hard for me to believe that anybody would consider me to be that big a threat.
I should never let you stay there by yourself.
Sally, I'm fine. I feel bad about your tool shed, though.
Who cares about the shed? It was full of junk anyway. I'm glad to be rid of it.
That's kind of the way Ranger Akers saw it, too. He showed up right after the birdwatcher did and ticketed me for burning refuse in a manner that endangered park property.
That man is insufferable.
Emily was nice, though. She came by right afterwards and wouldn't leave until I drank the tea she made for me.
Look, Nancy, one more time. If you want to leave, just say the word and I'll come get you.
Sally, one more time. I'm fine.
Well, then promise me you'll be careful, okay?
I promise. I'll be in touch.
You better.
Okay, so, somebody had a good point here. Red sort of popped out from the direction opposite of his little tree hut, so he wasn't coming from his tree hut. So where did Red come from? He must have been inside the woods somewhere. Don't know. Let's see if Bess and George are here. Might as well, you know, I like hearing from Bess and George. I didn't call them in my practice run of this game, so...
How's it going?
Hey, Bess. How'd you know it was me?
Telepathy, of course. Just another of my many talents. You are so full of it. She got caller ID, Nancy. So now, instead of hanging up on the geeks that always call her, she just doesn't answer the phone. Very funny. So what's up?
It's funny, caller ID apparently was like this brand new thing when this game came out in 2002. And now everybody has cell phones which automatically come equipped with caller ID.
Believe it or not, on some nights, this house gets attacked by a pack of dogs. Sally's so scared of them, she left me here by myself.
Did you say dogs? She couldn't have, George. Dogs don't attack houses.
They were definitely dogs. They came out of nowhere and started leaping at the windows and scratching at the doors like they wanted to get in.
Maybe that was just their way of being friendly.
These dogs were not friendly, believe me, and they had glowing yellow eyes. A bird watcher I ran into said they were ghosts.
Ghosts?
The man who built Sally's place on Moon Lake was a gangster. The bird watcher said that the ghosts of his dogs show up every time someone new tries to live here.
The place is haunted by ghost dogs? Like there's such a thing as ghosts. But it does sound like you've got another mystery on your hands, Detective Drew.
Let me see. I'm trying to remember. Let's see, 2002. So I would have been a sophomore in high school when this game came out. Yeah, our family didn't have caller ID. We did not have caller ID. We didn't get caller ID until say 2004, 2005 at our house. Yeah. So that's how things worked at the Gray household.
Hey, newsflash. I think I know why somebody wants to scare Sally off her property, and it has nothing to do with birds, parks, or artifacts.
So what does it have to do with?
Gold, as in 600 pounds of gold bullion.
That's a good motive. Come on, Nancy, tell us everything. Gold is one of my favorite subjects.
Well, I found William Akers' journal.
Journal. Yeah, right. Go on.
Gold on, gold on.
Have you ever heard of the hole-in-the-floor gold heist?
I've heard of the hole-in-the-wall gang.
Well, according to Akers' journal, in 1931, somebody stole a shipment of gold bars in broad daylight by dropping them through a hole in the floor of a moving train.
Let me guess. The thieves were never caught, and the gold was never found.
You got it. According to Akers, Malone masterminded the whole thing, and he hid the gold right here on his Moon Lake property.
You think it's still there? It must be. Like you said, Nancy, that would explain why somebody wants Sally, and now you out of there so bad.
I also found a map with the inscription, "The dogs will lead the way."
You found a treasure map? My gosh, Nancy. Secret passageways, buried treasure? You're like a magnet for that stuff. The dogs will lead the way to what?
According to the journal, Malone left Akers the map and said it would show him where the gold was, but all it has on it is that inscription and some landmarks.
What kind of landmarks?
The house, the shoreline, some rocks in the lake, the pump, the cemetery, and it's crisscrossed with lines like a grid.
A grid? Sounds like precise locations are involved.
Yes, they certainly are.
There's a private cemetery in the woods out back. Malone and his dogs are supposedly buried there.
Creepy.
And there were paw prints in the cemetery. Fresh paw prints.
Are you sure you're going to be all right there by yourself? We'd volunteer to drive out there and keep you company, but unfortunately my car's in the shop, and you know what a scaredy cat George is.
That's okay. There's really no room, and believe me, living conditions here are pretty primitive.
Scaredy cat, huh? You're gonna pay for that remark, dear cousin.
Moon Lake is gorgeous, but it's so remote. The park ranger is the closest thing they have to a sheriff around here.
Park ranger? What's he like? Which, as we all know, is Bess's way of saying, park ranger? Is he cute? Not true, George. Nancy thinks everybody's cute, so what will be the point?
Oh.
You were saying?
Nancy thinks everybody's cute? When did this come out? And you know, the first Nancy Drew game I played was Nancy Drew, the Haunted Carousel, so that would have been the year after this game came out. So 2003, probably 2003, maybe 2004 is when I first played Nancy Drew, so that would have been junior year of high school for me, so I would have been, oh, wow, I have to do the math here. Oh, let's see. Somebody do the math. How old are juniors? 17 years old is when I first played a Nancy Drew game.
His name's Jeff Akers. He's very helpful, polite, efficient, knowledgeable.
Sounds boring.
In fact, he probably knows more about the area than all the other residents of Moon Lake combined.
Sounds very boring. What's he know about these alleged ghost dogs?
He thinks they're just plain old dogs that for some reason like to run around at night scaring people.
And what does Detective Drew think about the dogs?
I think Sally had good reason to be scared of them. I don't blame her for leaving, which leads me to think that maybe that was the whole idea.
Somebody had those dogs attack Sally in order to scare her away? Why would anybody do that? She was there for less than a month. You'd have to be a total creep to make enemies that fast. And Sally's one of the nicest people I know. Ooh, Nancy! Speaking of cute guys, Frank and Joe Hardy called. I filled them in on where you are and what you're doing, and they're dying to hear from you.
Okay, so junior year of high school is 16 or 17. I have a January birthday, and the Haunted Carousel came out in August or somewhat, so I would have been 17 definitely when I got the game shortly after it came out. So Frank and Joe Hardy are also in this game.
Great. Did they leave a number?
Their number is 280-555-4865. Bess didn't recognize it when they called and almost didn't answer the phone. Good thing my cousin here has a memory like an elephant, huh? What's that supposed to mean? Call them, Nancy. They're dying to hear from you. But remember, Frank's cute and all that, but George and I want to hear from you too. Yeah, no fair discussing the case with them from now on and not with us. Promise you'll keep us up to speed?
I promise. This bird watcher I met has got me taking pictures of birds for some survey he's doing. He's a bit of a grump.
Does he live nearby?
No, he just kind of hangs out in the woods. In fact, I only see him at night.
Interesting. He's in the woods at night. The dogs are in the woods at night. Could he have had a reason for wanting Sally out of the Malone house?
Maybe. From what Ranger Akers told me, Red would like everybody around here out of their houses. He thinks there's too many people at Moon Lake, and it's ruining the bird watching. Ranger Akers called him a fanatic.
Fanatic equals suspect in my book.
Yes, people are asking why I'm having such a hard time remembering how old I was in the past. Because I'm super old. That's why.
Did I mention that all the water in Sally's house comes from a well?
Ew, really? Does it taste like rotten eggs? Not all well water tastes like rotten eggs, Beth.
I don't know if it does or not. Because the well is so old, I need to get the water tested before I drink it.
Good plan. Nothing will wreck your day faster than a nice tall glass of contaminated water.
I mean, you know, most people can't remember anything in the first half of their lives, and as I get older, the first half of my life is longer and longer and longer.
I found the coolest old newspaper. It's from 1927, and on the front page is an article about Mickey Malone and a man named William Akers.
Akers? Any relation to Park Ranger Jeff Akers?
When I asked, Jeff Akers said that it was just a huge unfortunate coincidence. According to the paper, William Akers was Mickey Malone's most trusted employee, his #1 go-to guy.
Where'd you find it?
You know how I always seem to wind up in houses with secret passageways?
Sometimes I think they follow you around.
Well, I found these hidden stairs leading from the living room into the cellar.
What's down there?
That's what's weird. The stairs led down into this empty space. There's some kind of safe in the wall and a set of stairs leading to a door that goes outside, but that was it.
Why would Malone bother hiding a staircase if it didn't go somewhere important?
Bye, you guys.
See ya. Bye.
Okay, we are finally done with talking with Bess and George. Very nice. I like how they think secret passageways follow Nancy around. We have had a lot of secret passageways in the Nancy Tour series. Well, I don't mean to open this.
Good news. I have information on your mystery woman.
So it takes a while, but eventually Akers figures out who the woman is.
You are incredible, Ranger Akers. What did you find out?
Her name these days is Vivian Whitmore. She lives in Las Vegas, and her number is 702-555-9137.
Have you gotten the results back from that water sample I left with you?
I meant to call the Department of Health today for a status report, but frankly, I've been way too busy.
Sounds like Moon Lake could use 2 rangers.
If I were in charge of just 10 more acres of parkland, they'd give me an assistant, and I could devote more time to the acquisition of more land and eventually put Moon Lake on the map as one of the biggest, most popular parks in the state.
Why didn't the Parks Department buy the Malone property instead of Sally?
She outbid them, the cheapskates.
Well, if those dogs scare Sally away for good, other people are bound to think twice about buying the place. The bank will lower its price, and you'll have your land.
You're insinuating things again, Miss Drew.
I'm sorry, I really am. It's just that Sally's my friend, and I'd really like to find out why someone's doing this to her.
Tell you what, if you're serious about making amends, there's some boxes by the computer labeled with dates. They're from the estate of a local history buff. She kept everything from newspaper clippings to old photos to recipes for apple crisp. She put everything in envelopes, then numbered them by year using Roman numerals. Just put the envelopes in order by year with the earliest date in front. Oh, and if you're rusty on Roman numerals, there's an entry on them in the computer.
Okay if I read what's in the envelopes?
Don't go reading anything until you're through, or take my word for it, you'll never get it finished.
Where's Yogi?
In the run, out back. Even out of sight, he's under my full control, as park rules require.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here.
I don't think Ranger Acres ever blinks. Okay, so I mean, I'm in my late 20s, but I feel older than I actually am because, you know, it's been like 5 years since I've been out of college.
Let's see.
And I'm on my second career now, so...
Down in the front of each block.
Don't people usually only have like 2 or 3 careers? I don't know how many. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. And it doesn't help that I'm dealing with all you youngins here with your Nancy Drew games. Why, I was playing Nancy Drew when you were in diapers. Everything's all switched around. In a junior mode, obviously things are less switched around. So this is 11, 10, 8, 4, and then just nothing. Hey! Jamie finally understood the pun. Yeah, his name is Jeff Akers because he works at a park. Get it? Akers? Akers? Whew! Whew! Oh man. Oh man, I'm just gonna bust a gut here, dying of laughter. That's 17. And then I'm gonna need 19 on top, right? So that's IX. XIX is 19. No, wait, that's LXIX. I'm lost here. Okay, XI. XIIIIV, XVII, and then where's XIX? Isn't there an XIX? There it is. Okay, so now 1920. I'm XLV up here. That's 1945. Yeah, we're gonna have the bunch of. This is 25. XLI is that. LI comes before L. No, LX is going to be 50. So this is going to be 30. This is 32. So 39, and then that's. This is such a difficult puzzle. It's not that difficult. You just need to know Roman numerals. That's
Now that
all.
they're all sorted.
There we go.
Reading.
We're finished. We're finished. We're finished. Oh, come on. Look, what? People in the studio audience talking about ages. Come on, you're not old enough to drive a car. That's super young. Hey, I can drive a car, and I can vote. Awesome! Yeah, being old is awesome. Yeah, I get my own house and everything. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, but I have to pay taxes, which is not so cool. Just found out my taxes this year are going to be like $3,000. Okay, so this is when Mickey Malone, not Mickey Mouse. This is when Mickey Malone was arrested. So that's where we learned the date, which we can use in order to open up the safe. And there's the person who caught him, Agent Waldo Matthias. And this is about him being a gangster. I don't think I can look up anything here. Well, I kind of failed my driver's test 5 times, so I did not have a driver's license at age 16 or 17. I was playing Nancy Drew games before I got a driver's license because I kind of, I'm sort of a failure. Oh well, but I got my driver's license now, so yeah, after failing 5 times, I got my driver's license finally, and I can drive wherever I want to.
I understand he used to be the deputy here.
So?
According to Emily Griffin, Deputy Joe Akers was your father, and according to the journal I found, William Akers' son was named Joe. Another coincidence?
All right. William Akers was my grandfather.
Oh, I've already finished paying my student loans. People in the studio audience are talking about student loans. They are the worst. They are definitely the worst. And like the interest increase during the time that you're actually going to school or something like that. Ugh, it's lame. Anyway, he is related to Mr. Akers, the criminal.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
It's not exactly something I'm proud of. My father spent his whole life trying to make people forget what my grandfather was, and trying to make sure people who didn't know what he was never found out. I've been doing the same thing.
So you've been lying about your history?
What did William
Well, then why did you
do
come
after
back
Malone
here
was
after...
arrested?
I'm afraid you're going to have to excuse me, Miss Drew. In case you've forgotten, I'm a very busy man.
Busy doing what? You're just sitting around... What is he doing? What is he doing there? There's nothing on the desk in front of him. He's like playing around with the desk. Is he gonna move? There you go, okay.
I apologize for my previous behavior. As a park ranger, I strive to keep my personal feelings in check at all times, and that time I failed. It's my duty as a public servant to try to make it up to you. What would you like to know?
And Andy in the studio audience is pointing out that some of these pictures, these things in the background, are in fact from previous Nancy Drew games. That one diagram looks familiar.
Did your grandfather ever find any gold on Malone's property?
If he did, he never spent it. He wasn't poor when he died, but he certainly wasn't rich.
What can you tell me about the gold that Malone supposedly buried on his property?
As far as I know, it doesn't exist. It's just one of those rumors people want to believe, so they do.
Thanks for all your help.
Always a pleasure.
Cool. So, Ranger Akers is busy doing something. So, where was I? Ranger Akers, if he likes you, he gives you the junior ranger pin for actually solving that puzzle. And you can use that pin to open up the safe downstairs. But I used the pen, not the pin. So it looks like I'm not getting a I'm a junior ranger pin, which is kind of a shame because I like being a junior ranger. So let's call the mystery woman.
If you're selling something, hang up right now. I got an air horn in my hand that could deafen a dinosaur, and I'm not afraid to use it.
Oh, no, please. I'm not selling anything. Believe me. Is this Vivian Whitmore?
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You got exactly 5 seconds to state your business.
My name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling from Moon Lake, Pennsylvania. I just wanted to ask you some questions.
Oh, right. The Moon Lake Park Ranger said you might call, but you have to talk fast. An old friend of mine is flying in today from Florida, and when I say old, I mean old, as in 5 years older than I am. Don't bother trying to do the math, sweet stuff. You'll hurt yourself. Oh, that ranger fella said you found an old picture of me.
That's right. I found it in the cellar of Mickey Malone's old house on Moon Lake.
Moon Lake. Talk about your fond memories. I had a lot of fun there. Although I wasn't anywhere near as wild as most young people were back then. But I think Mickey kind of respected me for that. I was his gal for 5 years. He always kept birch beer on tap at that speakeasy of his just for me.
Tell me about the speakeasy.
It was in the basement, right there at Moon Lake. Feds never knew about it, but everybody who was anybody on the East Coast back then, actors, musicians, bankers, politicians, they knew. You weren't big time unless you'd made at least one trip to Moon Lake Mickey's.
That's weird. I'm staying in his old house on Moon Lake, and I haven't seen any sign of a speakeasy.
Course you haven't. You're not supposed to. Only Mickey and Willie knew how to get into the speakeasy from the house. The rest of us had to go in and out the regular way, through the cemetery.
The cemetery?
There was a lock hidden in one of the tombstones in that little cemetery behind the house. You needed a key to unlock it, and when you did, stairs would appear that led to the speakeasy.
Do you have any idea how to get into Malone's speakeasy from the house?
I sure don't. That saloon was built using 2 main ingredients, concrete and secrecy. Mickey always bragged that nobody could get in unless he wanted them in, and I do believe he was right. But I'll tell you what, if you send me that picture of me and Mickey, I'll send you my key.
The key to the tombstone? You still have it?
It's in the bottom of my jewelry box. I've come this close to throwing it out 100 times, but it's so small, and the memories it brings back are so big. Well, I just couldn't, as a joke. Mickey had a tombstone made with the name of this federal agent who had it out for him, inscribed on it. That's the one the key unlocks.
William Akers, the guy you call Willie. He wrote about looking for the gold that Malone had supposedly buried on his property at Moon Lake. Do you know anything about that?
The hole in the floor gold heist. Well, I'll be darned.
So it's true? He did bury gold on his property?
Truth be told, when Mickey told me he was the one who pulled off that heist and that he'd buried 20 gold bars at Moon Lake, I didn't believe him. I thought he was making it up. See, Mickey and I were on the outs by then. I thought he was just trying to entice me to come back. But if he told Willie the same thing, maybe there's something to the story after all.
Do you have any idea where he might have hidden it?
Afraid not. Mickey was so secretive that the men who completed his house at Moon Lake were not only forbidden to talk about the work they'd done, but they were ordered to leave the state for good. Where else? But you know, I think he mentioned a map. Yes. He said he was making a treasure map in that... the dogs. Something about those dogs of his.
The dogs will lead the way?
He was always saying that. In fact, I'm pretty sure he had it engraved on his tombstone. Think, Viv, think. He said he was making a treasure map, and that he was also having paintings done of each dog. He made it sound like one thing had something to do with the other, like he was giving me some big important clue. But I just figured he was playing games, trying to lure me back with mystery and intrigue. I told him to buzz off. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Did he say what he was going to do with the paintings?
He said he was going to hang them in the speakeasy, and I'm sure that's precisely what he did.
It's been fun talking to you.
Anytime.
So let's talk to her later. I'll let you people in the studio audience decide if I will call the Hardy Boys, Bess again, and Vivian again, because I can get away. What about Sally? Do you want to hear more phone calls? Because that was basically 4 minutes of me standing still and not saying anything. But if you want to, I will call every single character and just exhaust all of those conversations with them.
Hello again, Miss Drew. Am I in for another interrogation?
I'd like to mail this photo to the woman in Las Vegas. Can you do that for me?
As always, I'm here to serve, Miss Drew. Just give it to me, and I'll take care of it. I'm sure she'll be very pleased to get this back.
Sorry to bother you again, but did those results
Wait a
of the
minute.
water test come in yet?
There's something here for you from the State Department of Health.
We have 1 vote for talking to the Hardy Boys, 1 vote for
Oh my
talking to
gosh,
Sally.
Not only is the water bad, but it seems like the well may have been contaminated deliberately.
2 votes for not calling anybody, lots of votes for Hardy Boys. Everybody loves the Hardy Boys, okay.
I wouldn't go jumping to conclusions without proof, Ms. Drew. I'm sure there's a far less melodramatic explanation.
And, oh my gosh, everybody, this is what got me excited.
I finished putting all those envelopes in order.
Excellent. Thank you, Miss Drew. And to show my gratitude, I've got something for you.
Chances are it isn't a paycheck.
No, it's an honorary junior park ranger pin. I keep them on hand so I can give them out to children whom I see demonstrating respect for park rules and regulations. A little bit of positive reinforcement. Unfortunately, I don't get to give them out that often.
Oh, gee, thanks, Ranger Akers.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks for all your help.
Always a pleasure.
And like I said, this is the pen. The pin, you can use that to open the safe in the basement. So that's cool. That's cool. Yogi, kind of a cute dog, kind of a lazy dog. He's busy all sleeping and stuff. So we need to skip ahead a couple of days in order for the key to come in. So people don't want phone calls at this particular moment because it's you know we just got through long phone calls. Okay, so I'll take a minor break from phone calls. I'll put it off until the last moment. That way there can be more conversations with people. And Red, what did you want to say?
Hello there. I owe you an apology. After you came up here looking for those red tails, I gave my map a closer look and realized it was more than 50 years old. The reason you can't find them is probably because their favorite nesting tree is gone. Finding that hawk's gonna be harder than I thought, so why don't you just give me back my camera and I'll take it from here. It didn't get burned up in that fire or anything, did it?
Somebody clobbers me over the head and then tries to barbecue me, and all you're worried about is your camera?
It's a very expensive camera.
Whoa, Nancy is pulling out the sass.
Where did those gas cans come from?
I ran out of gas. So much for being prepared, huh? Well, that's all I wanted to tell you. I'm sure you've got places to go, things to see, people to pester.
You'll be happy to know that I did get a picture of a red-tailed hawk. So here's your camera back. I got all the birds.
Thank you, Nancy. Nice work. You're a credit to your generation.
Yeah, you're like a junior ranger.
Mickey Malone supposedly buried a bunch of stolen gold bars on his property way back in the 20s. Did you know that?
Really? That's interesting. I don't much care, but it's interesting.
So you don't know anything about it?
Nope.
See you in a while.
Shh, down a notch. Remember.
I think that's the last time we can talk to Red Knot about something. We don't need to talk to Ranger Akers about anything either. We're going to talk to Emily one more time. So I will talk to Emily one more time, and then phone calls after talking to Emily one more time. I'm skipping ahead a couple of days, giving Miss Burnett, Vivian Burnett, time to mail that key in from Las Vegas. Yeah, Nancy is a credit to her generation, but there have been Nancy Drew books out for the past 4 generations, right?
A package just arrived for you from Las Vegas.
Great. Vivian sent me the key.
I'll dispose of the package. Wouldn't want to break any littering laws, would we?
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here.
Ranger, this is Ranger, what was the Ranger's name? Ranger Stink, I believe his name was. I rarely look at the computer, but it does give information about the park. Ooh, slideshow. We've got a deer, a falcon, a duck, squirrel. Ooh, nice. Nice. Safety tips. Oh, that's how to do the well. Clues for puzzles. Famous residents. Oh, so the dog crashed. Oh, okay. I mean, the boat crashed. That's important. So after Sally. All right. So let's call Vivian. You don't have to do this, but we can meet Eustacia from Nancy Drew. Whatever. The final scene. The final scene. Sorry, I've been playing Nancy Drew for like 5 hours now. At this point, I'm kind of tired. Okay, maybe more like 4.
Hello?
Is this Vivian?
No, this is your station drop-off. Vivian's fixing snacks in the kitchen.
Oh my gosh, Eustacia Andropoff? Harry Houdini's cousin?
Use the air horn like I showed you.
No, Eustacia, wait. It's Nancy Drew. I talked to you on the phone a couple of months ago, just after a friend of mine was kidnapped in St. Louis. I asked you questions about the theater where the kidnapping took place, the Royal Palladium, remember?
Nancy Drew, the Snoopy one. You're not dead yet?
No.
Most people, I talk to them one day, next day they're dead. It is an old age thing.
Oh, stop being so morbid here. Have some clam dip. Hello? Nancy? So you know Eustacia, huh? Small world. Well, what's up?
Ah, so the dogs were all Rottweilers. Yeah, the dogs were all the exact same species. So, Rottweiler is that species of dog, that apparently dog breed, right? Cool.
Can you remember anything about Malone's dogs that might suggest where he hid the gold?
I've stayed away from his dogs. They made me nervous, always jumping around, barking at this or that. The only one I liked was, what was
Iggy.
his name?
Iggy.
Iggy. I liked Iggy because he was nice and quiet. He just lay on the porch all day and didn't make a peep.
Do you know anything about the safe that's in the cellar of his house at Moon Lake?
You must be talking about the wall safe. That was Willie. By Willie, I mean William Akers, one of the guys who worked for Mickey.
What can you tell me about William Akers?
He was Mickey's most trusted employee. Mickey treated all his other men like dirt, but not Willie. He honestly liked Willie, respected him, trusted him implicitly.
It's been fun talking to you.
23, skidoo, kiddo!
Woohoo! I find it interesting that Eustacia is in this game. Of all the characters to bring back, they brought back Eustacia Andropoff. And you know, I was complaining about being old. I am not as old as Eustacia Andropoff. I am not at that age where everybody I know has died. My bowling partner is sort of at that age. He was born in the 40s. He likes hanging out with me. I'm like the only person he knows under the age of 40, so... Yeah. I'm not going anywhere with that. It's not like a fun story. I'm just saying, you know what? I'm not as old as I thought I was. Or I'm not as old as I could be. Although right now I'm older than I've ever been before. Okay, so technically we're supposed to call Vivian one more time to figure out what this clue is. But I know what we have to do. We need to spell out the name Baldo. Super easy in senior mode. Press the second letter twice, third letter twice, fourth letter twice.
It's too dark. I need a flashlight.
You have a flashlight, Nancy.
Oh, the batteries are going dead. I can't see
Oh.
I better go back.
So the batteries are going dead, and we need to leave. Oh dear. So, yes, everybody, we found Waldo. We found Waldo. He is right here. Waldo is no longer among the living. Why is Waldo always hiding? What is he trying to hide from? Waldo, quit hiding, Waldo. You need to embrace your past, not run from it. Let's do a phone call. Let's call Bess and George because it's likely to be the quickest. Okay, so question, everybody in the studio audience, or just somebody in the studio audience.
Nancy, how's it going?
What is area code
ID stuff is going to take some
523?
getting used to.
I'm here too, Nan. What's going on?
Because that's the area code for River Heights in these games, and I never looked it up until just now.
Get this. It turns out that Jeff Akers will be one happy park ranger if Sally sells her Moon Lake property back to the bank, and they wind up selling it to the Parks Department.
You think he might be responsible for all this ghost dog stuff?
He has a motive and he has a dog, although it doesn't look at all like the dogs that have been scaring Sally.
But it shows he knows something about dogs. Better pull out your suspect list and pencil him in, Nan. I still say you guys should lighten up on him.
Who are we talking about? The ranger?
I think somebody may have deliberately put poison down Sally's well.
Yikes! What makes you think that?
The Department of Health found unusually high levels of arsenic in the water sample I sent them.
Somebody's trying to poison you with arsenic? They said that?
Oh, wow, craziness. Okay, thank you, people in the studio audience. There is no area code 523. That was made up for the Nancy Drew games. They are calling from an area code which doesn't exist in the United States. There's one in Mexico, but there's not one in the United States. Okay, poisoned well.
It's apparently not unusual to find some arsenic in well water.
So somebody could be trying to poison you, but you don't know for sure.
Right, and they may not be trying to poison anybody. They may want to contaminate the well just enough to force Sally to either go to the expense of digging a new one or forget the whole thing and leave.
And because arsenic is found naturally in well water anyway, you may never know for sure. Bummer.
Malone's girlfriend, Vivian, said that Malone hired an artist to do paintings of his dogs right around the time he was bragging about creating a map that would lead to his goal.
Have you seen the paintings?
They're not in the house, so either they're in the speakeasy, which I still haven't gotten into, or they're long gone.
Keep looking for them, Nan. If they were done at the same time as that map, they could contain some kind of clue.
I could sure use a nice big hint right about now.
You need some new flashlight batteries, so you can explore the passageway that leads to the speakeasy. Go ask Emily for some. Whatever you do, don't ask that birdwatcher.
Does that mean we can do something with the birdwatcher?
Bye, you guys.
Ta-ta. Ciao for now.
Okay, so yeah, River Heights is in a fictional area code because it's a fictional town. In the Nancy Drew books, they, it depends on the book where River Heights is. Usually it's somewhere in the Midwest, around Ohio or Illinois. They usually say something like that. In the one book where there's a Civil War reenactment, apparently it's close enough to the South where they had a Civil War battle in their state, so it wasn't Illinois. So you can see that. And in the Nancy Drew File series, it's close to New York, so she's always going to New York to visit her Aunt Eloise. So it sort of depends on which book you're reading where she is.
Nice Junior Park Ranger pin. You must really be on Acres' good side.
Does the name Waldo Matthias mean anything to you?
Can't say as it does.
I found an old newspaper in Sally's house that contained an article on Mickey Malone. It really got my curiosity going. What else can you tell me about him?
Person you should talk to is Jeff Akers. He's got this historical museum thing going out at that ranger station of his.
How do I get to the museum?
Just up lake from Sally's on the east side.
Do you know anything about the gold that Mickey Malone supposedly buried somewhere on his property?
All I got to say about it is, if there really was a bunch of gold buried somewhere and nobody ever found it, it's for darn sure nobody ever will. Not with them dogs up there.
All right, so people in the studio audience, we have two people. Katia and Jody are asking, how do George and Bess know how to solve the mystery? They know how to solve the mystery even when they're not there. I actually have a special guest here to help me. Sunny June, could you please explain how they know about this case, even though they haven't been told about it?
Aliens, Michael. It was aliens. It's definitely the aliens.
Thanks, Sonny. Good luck with your new job as Oh wow, I totally forgot what the name of the job was. So, you'll notice in the background we have a bunch of movies from Nancy Drew, the final scene. There's Vanishing Destiny. You can see Brady Armstrong and Vanishing Destiny right next to Emily's head. Taxidermist. 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 That's the job, right.
I need flashlight batteries. Do you carry them?
Yep. But you know, I've been meaning to make a pretty display out of them packs of combo coal over there for the longest time. Just can't seem to get around to it.
And Nancy Drew apparently is wearing her pin on her lapel or something. That's how Emily saw it, yeah.
In other words, you'd like me to give it a shot.
Here's the way it should look when you're done.
Okay, can I pick it up now? I need to click on her finger in order to do that. Okay, so this is kind of a puzzle. It's not too difficult. Move everything around to start a picture, and green things are always going to be on sides. So let's see. We want green with orange on the left and green with purple on the right. So you can rotate the pieces. You can only rotate them one of two directions, which makes this so much easier. Okay, so this right-hand side looks perfectly fantastic, the right-hand column. And left-hand column, I need 2 greens, 3 yellows, and a purple. 2 greens, 3 yellows, and a purple. And was the smiling fish like that too? Okay, so now we want the middle 3 columns. Looks like we're going to have some blues here, so where are the blues? Bottom row has blues, and one with 2 reds is going to go here. Okay, and this is going to be,
Ta-da! One smiling goldfish. It's obviously never tried combo cola.
Oh, Nancy's being sassy again. So, we're all finished, Emily.
Hey, Nancy. This mean you got them cans stacked?
You bet. They look just like the picture you gave me, which you can have back.
Here's your batteries. And thanks, Nancy.
And I think that's it, actually. We don't really need to talk to anybody else. What we're going to do from this point on is we are going to finish the mystery. We're going to go through the speakeasy, and I'm going to be super fantastic and solve all the puzzles on my first time through the speakeasy, thereby bringing an end to the game. But first, you know, what did they say about not talking to Red Knot for batteries? Oh, wait, I already have the batteries. I can't ask him for batteries. I already have them. Oh, well. Let's call the Hardy Boys and Sally. People wanted to hear from the Hardy Boys. Everybody loves Frank and Joe. Ooh, but first, phone numbers. This is not the best phone to show it, but you'll notice that the phone numbers have letters connected to them. Like number 1 is letters ABC, letter 2 is DEF, so on and so forth. So if you read the ones for Bess, George, and Ned, what are theirs? 4463, so that's HELP. Another one is HINT, and I think Ned's is CLUE. So their phone numbers are 555 hint clue, and help, respectively. So that's why they have the same phone numbers in every single game. It's because those are actually joke phone numbers. I wonder if the Hardy Boys phone number means anything. I better pull up my phone. 4865.
Hello?
Hey, Joe. It's Nancy.
Nancy, how's it going? No, wait, don't answer that. Talk about the weather or something.
The weather?
Yeah, that'll give me time to grab the other phone and take it outside. Frank's washing the car. He'll kill me if he misses anything. Here, wait a sec. Take a break, it's Nancy. Hang on. He's putting the hose down. He's drying his hands. He's walking over. Nancy, hi. What's up? Bess and George say you've got another mystery on your hands. Or should we say, on your paws.
They told you about the dogs?
We made them tell us everything. Pumped them dry. As you may have guessed, we're not exactly rolling in detective work here.
So you're living vicariously through me.
It's not the first time, sad to say. What conclusions have you reached so far, detective?
Oh, okay. So, one word which is spelled out by the Hardy Boys phone number is 555 HUNK, or 555 hunk, as in Frank Hardy is a hunky fellow.
If nothing else, those ghost dogs are very well trained. I'm watching to see who owns and or trains dogs around here.
Good plan. But don't forget, a really smart perpetrator is going to make it look like he or she has no connection to dogs whatsoever. But then a really, really smart perp might have dogs all over the place and not bother to hide it, because he or she would figure you'd never suspect anyone so obvious.
Emily Griffin doesn't seem to have any dogs.
Uh-oh. Move her up on your suspect list. I'd move her down. You know, Joe, something tells me we're not helping.
Not helping.
I'm convinced that someone is using those ghost dogs to scare Sally into abandoning Malone's house. If I can just figure out why, I might be able to figure out who.
Never hurts to look for motive.
I'm pretty sure I know why somebody wants Sally out of the Malone house.
So come on, spill.
Apparently, Malone stole a small fortune in gold bars off a train and hid them somewhere on his property here. They've never been found.
How do you know?
One of his employees, a guy named William Akers, kept a journal, which I found and of course read.
Of course. Wait a sec. Did you say William Akers?
Who, as it turns out, was our friendly park ranger's grandfather.
Whoa.
According to his journal, William Akers spent months following each dog around, hoping one of them would lead him to the gold. None ever did.
So they didn't go running off into the woods, never to be seen again after all.
Apparently, they stayed around Malone's house for years. William Akers went to the house every day and fed them until they all finally died.
But according to their tombstones, they all died on the same day.
Those inscriptions were Malone's idea. Akers was just following instructions.
And in all that time, William Akers never found any traces of gold?
He was pretty much a hard luck kind of guy.
What happened to him anyway?
After 9 years of searching for the gold, he finally gave up. About a year after Malone died, he put his journal in the safe, locked it up for the last time, and walked away a broken man.
That's what he gets for hitching his wagon to the star of a gangster, a second-class gangster at that. If it had been Al Capone, maybe he could have sold his memoirs to Hollywood or something. But a flash in the pan like Nicky Malone? Not a chance.
So if you guys were 600 pounds of gold bullion, where would you be?
Maybe Malone hid it in the speakeasy.
Maybe. The longer I stay in this house, the more it seems like nothing's impossible.
Keep the faith, Nancy. If that gold hasn't been found yet, all it means is that nobody as smart as you has looked for it yet.
I seem to be getting nowhere fast. Anybody have any suggestions?
We can probably come up with a few, but we're not going to make it easy for you. After all, it's your case, not ours. Now that you've got a flashlight that works, you can check out that speakeasy.
Okay, that's making it super easy.
Later, guys.
You bet. Bye, Nancy.
That is making it super easy. Okay, and let's call Sally, and then after that, I'll solve the mystery. I like calling the people towards the end of the mystery, because sometimes they'll talk about something.
Hello?
Hey, Sally, it's Nancy.
Nancy, did you see them? Did you see the dogs?
Yes, I did, and I can understand why you left. They were pretty frightening. But if it's okay with you, I'd really like to stay and get to the bottom of whatever's going on. That's why you asked me here in the first place, right?
Yes, but Nancy, are you sure?
Positive. Consider Detective Drew officially on the case.
I wish I were
Hello, everybody. Are we seeing things here? No, I don't want to open Ghost of Thornton Hall. I want to do Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. Hello, everybody. Talking to myself again here. No, stop talking to me, Michael. Stop talking. Okay, random technical difficulties. Don't know where those are coming from. Apparently somebody reset my internet connection when I wasn't paying attention. Nice. So, I don't know why that happened. Fortunately, we didn't miss much. We were on the phone with,
Hello?
Hey, Sally.
with
it's
Sally.
Nancy.
Nancy, hi. How's it going?
So we were on the phone with Sally. I'm sorry if you missed some of that, but hey, we're back. We're back.
I'm curious. Why did you characterize the park ranger as a pain in the neck?
I left part of a ham sandwich on a picnic table once. Big mistake. From the way he carried on, you'd think I just made the FBI's 10 most wanted list. I don't think he likes me. Emily says it's because I wrecked his dream of becoming Super Ranger or something when I bought the Malone house instead of the Parks Department. Me, I think he just basically has a problem relating to people unless they're asking questions or breaking the law.
I'm afraid I have some bad news. I had your well water tested, and according to the health department, it contains a very high level of arsenic.
Arsenic? Somebody poisoned my well?
Maybe, maybe not. The health department is running more tests. When you bought the house, did anyone mention a problem with the well?
No. And it doesn't matter. I love that house, and I am going to live in it. If that well's bad, I'll just dig another one. At least I will when I know for sure why bad things keep happening there. You are going to figure that out, right, Nancy?
You bet I am.
I knew I could count on you.
I like how Sally has a vague accent. Like, her accent sometimes pops up, but it's not always there. I like that.
Where'd all that stuff in your tool shed come from?
It's just junk left behind by previous owners. Came with the house. I've been meaning to take inventory and start pitching stuff, but I didn't. If they ever make procrastination a crime, I'm done for.
In the paperwork that you had to wade through when you bought this property, do you recall ever coming across the name Vivian Whitmore?
No, I sure don't. Who's she?
A close friend of Mickey Malone's, or so it would seem.
Her name wasn't anywhere on the deed. I know that.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay, time to solve the mystery. Finished with the phone calls. Time to solve the mystery. It's been a little bit over 2 hours. Let's actually solve this mystery now that we've figured everything out. We are going straight to the thingy. Left, right, right, left, right, right, left. Here.
It's silly to try to explore this in the dark.
So we can explore in the dark. Okay, so what we want to do is we go into the cemetery, and we go to the speakeasy via the cemetery.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh what? Uh-oh what, Nancy? What are you uh-ohing about? I don't know.
So this is the speakeasy. Wow.
So 2 puzzles here. Puzzle number 1, kind of simple. Actually, no, not simple at all. Puzzle number 1 has to deal with the dogs. And puzzle number 2 is just look... I'm confused.
So Lucy would swim out to the shipwreck, which is about here.
So puzzle number 1, the easy one, is just look at all of the paintings of the dogs. That's all you need to do. That is super easy puzzle. You could totally handle that, right? And you'll notice each dog is associated with a different color.
If math is correct, the tree where Vitus would bark at the hawks used to be right about here.
Mm-hmm. So like each one of them has a different color collar. So there's a different color associated with each dog, and that's going to be, let's see, looks like this one's red, but this painting is ruined, so I can't really see where Xander lived. Oh no. Iggy just lying on the porch. I like Iggy. And his color looks like yellowish / green.
Those must be the spigots William Akers mentioned in his journal.
Wow, okay. This is fantastic. So yeah, the electricity here is working perfectly, even though the speakeasy has not been in business since the 1920s, 1930s. Let's say late 1930s. So you'll notice that here's a red one, here's a blue one, here's a yellow one, here's a green one. Now we said, hey, green is the color of Lucy, right? So that means we want to get this to read L for Lucy. Now, if you pull it once and then press the button, you'll notice it moves 3 times. If you pull it twice and press the red button, it flips 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So basically, I'll just keep pulling these spigots until I get all of the letters correct. They are X, V, I, L. Oh, almost missed the V. Okay, gotten the X in place. So really, you're supposed to use logic to figure this out. I just didn't. I just keep doing it over and over again until I get the solution. This opens up a hidden passageway in the area we used to go to. If you go through these doors up here in front, you will end up in the basement. Oh, and those are the dogs.
It's too dark.
Okay, so that's a hidden passageway. You need to go out the way you came, and it opened up a hidden passageway on the right. This hidden passageway. This hidden passageway. So notice the hidden passageway has pictures of the dogs. This is Lucy, and where was that final dog? Xander.
Xander, played by the pump, which is right here.
Played by the pump. So now we figured out where all the dogs live, and this is a hidden area with dogs. Oh my. So the dogs will lead the way, meaning we need to figure out where all the dogs lived. All the dogs were on this map, this map. Those two maps look the same, right? So Lucy's there, Xander was there, Iggy was here on the porch, and Vitus was over here. Solving this puzzle opens up 2 areas. Area over here in front of us.
That doesn't sound good.
Doesn't sound very good at all. The area over there in front of us and that locked door I just pointed out is now unlocked. Wow, look at this area. It sort of looks like Nancy Drew. Danger on Deception Island. Huh. And puppies?
So you're the ghost dogs. You look pretty real to me.
Aww. And this is the dog that jumped up at the window and was all barky and stuff.
Who's the good boy? Who's the good puppy?
I imagine they just reused that same pose of the dog standing up. Yep, and barking. And the dog lying down, probably the same pose as Iggy lying down and sleeping. So check this out.
These dogs have been trained to act vicious on command.
Woohoo! What's in the other direction? I don't know what's in the other direction. Oh, hey, the Chinese food box from Message in a Haunted Mansion. Oh, the pizza box from the final scene. And glow to make the dog's eyes and teeth glow. Here's a key. Tabloids, guess who's back? Brady Armstrong having a sequel movie. Ugh, really? Giant roach found in man's bathtub. So what's new, says DC. Mayan temples uses alien landing pads. Lose 50 pounds in a day and live? Whoa. And here's the culprit's notebook. Return Titanic to the video store because it's overdue. Oh, our culprit has been watching Titanic. And one of the dogs is named Cher. Oh, okay. Gary's Gizmos. Sally notes on how Malone and his stupid puzzles can take a flying leap. Where have I heard that before? Nancy Drew knows about gold, must find it before she does. Bruce and Meryl, oh no, Bruce and Meryl, other dogs were being very, very naughty and rolling around in mud.
I bet the dogs attacked Sally's house because high-frequency signal was transmitted to them through the speaker I saw on the roof.
Those dogs are so cute when they're not trying to kill me. So what does this other passageway lead to? I bet it doesn't really lead to... Yeah, it doesn't lead anywhere. It leads to rock. And this is solve the same puzzle again. Not too difficult, though. And now that we have the key...
It's some kind of lock.
And pick this up. This is kind of a precise puzzle. It's not that difficult. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. I'll put that there and secure it. We want to secure it with the screwdriver. And spin the wheel. So you can see the puzzles just spin all of the wheels once, right? You know, that's not that bad. That's pretty easy. If you don't know what to do, it can be difficult. So I'm going to take this wheel with me. Bad dog names. Cher and Meryl, and what was the other one? So here we have Krollmeister Wellworks and the final puzzle of the game. Right. So, remember green stood for Lucy, and Lucy is L. Yeah, Lucy is L, and L in Roman numerals is 50. Next is 10, so 10 is Xander. Xander was red, so this must be 10. Blue is going to be 5 for Vitus, because that's how you do Vitus, leaving 1 for Iggy. So those are the numbers we are trying to get here. Oh, 1. Okay, so we have 50, 10, 5, and 1. You are not 10. You are not 10 at all. 5. And 1, uh-oh. 10, 5, and you need to be 0. So how am I going to get this as 0 at the same time as this at 0? Is there anything else which moves that one? Yeah, that one does. So if I go this to 0, and that to 0. Now they're all synced up, right? So I'm going $10, 05, and 0. I want 0, 1 though, so that's okay, cool. So 50, 10, 0, 2, and 0, 1. No, it's 0, 5, and 0, 1. That solves the puzzle. Okay. Takes some doing. Obviously easier on amateur sleuth mode. I mean junior mode. And guess what we find here?
600 pounds of gold bullion. Wow.
Eddie and Bruce, those are the other names of the dogs? Okay, so it's a Cher, Meryl, Eddie, and Bruce. Okay. So, look at all this gold. 600 pounds of gold. Wow.
Hey there, Nancy. Why, what on earth have we got here?
Emily is the culprit. Oh no. Oh no. So I don't particularly like this endgame puzzle, mainly because it's not super explained. Apparently,
Don't you shut that door on me, Nancy Drew.
apparently we have this thing. Apparently we can jump down through the sewers. Apparently we can get killed by a dog bone.
Hey there, Nancy. Why, what on earth have we got here?
Okay, so apparently the shoe was not the culprit. Plot twist, everybody.
Hey there, Nancy. Why, what on earth have we got here?
What am I doing wrong? Am I supposed to, like, shut the door? I shut the door to stop her momentarily, and then I use the sewer. Right. That's kind of disgusting that we use the sewer. And then I get back up behind her. And she's got that dog bone.
There's plenty of gold here. We can share. Open the door.
Lock her in. Get out here.
Nancy, wait. Let's talk about this. This can just be our little secret. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, remember? Nancy?
The gold's all yours, Em. Enjoy it while you can.
All right, and we lock her with the big door. Lock her inside.
Dear Ned, as soon as I got out of the tunnels, Emily had left the door open. I called the sheriff, but when I led him back down the well to the room where I'd left Emily, she refused to leave. He and his deputies finally got her out, but one of them said afterward that if he had to choose between getting a bear away from her cub and getting Emily away from that gold, he'd pick the bear. What's worse, by the time they took Emily away, the place was swarming with reporters from all over the country. The commotion has scared away every bird for miles. I'm pretty sure Red Knot would like to strangle me. On the other hand, when Ranger Akers found out that 7 cars and 2 helicopters were illegally parked on park property and that he was going to get to ticket them, he was ecstatic. Tucker Davis finally cleared away that dead tree, which means I'm free to drive home. Moon Lake is beautiful, but I've had enough wildlife for now. Which reminds me, did I mention that those 4 ghost dogs are actually very sweet? They're so sweet, in fact, that Sally is seriously thinking about adopting them. How's that for irony? Ever yours, Nancy. Bess, hi, it's Nancy. I'm at this little amusement park on the coast. I wish I could say I was having a wonderful time, but the fact is, some pretty spooky things have been happening here. There have been some strange accidents. And the carousel, it starts up in the dead of night all by itself, like it's haunted or something. You know me, I don't get scared very easily, but I saw it myself, and I'll call you later. I've got to go right now.
So that's Nancy Drew, the Haunted Carousel, the next game in the Nancy Drew series. Fantastic. A happy ending. We captured Emily, we captured her and her evil shoe, and they are in jail. Emily just took a horrible picture. She does not take a good picture. So that's it, and these are all the people who made this game. Aren't they fantastic? Oh, Nancy Drew, oh, it was so much fun. Seriously, I am wondering about what M's plan was. Why did M decide to try to kill Nancy Drew, by locking her in the shed and knocking her unconscious after Nancy saw the speaker? What was her plot? What was the point of that? I don't quite understand that part. I mean, she might have gotten away with it if it weren't for that meddling kid. Ooh, bird models, cool. And somebody actually recorded bird calls. Nice. Okay, so the cast. I don't think we're going to find out who did the arms for Nancy. Looks like we have some returning cast members. Makes sense. Gold is very heavy. It would be difficult to lift all of that gold up a ladder. I mean, just carrying gold up a ladder would be kind of difficult, especially when it's really huge, heavy things of gold. Oh well. Okay, so that is the end of the game. Thank you very much for watching Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. A special thank you to everybody here in the studio audience. How many people are here right now? 182 people. Thank you very much for watching, 182 people. Sleuthing, Nancy Drew, Clue, Crew.